What's up, Guardians? Welcome to another Destiny gameplay video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the things that separates the average PvP player from great PvP players, and that's their ability to do threat assessment on the fly and decide whether they're going to stick an engagement out or if they're going to cut and run and try and find a more advantageous position to approach their enemy from. So in this video, you're going to see a lot of different scenarios where I either push or pull back depending on how I read the specific scenarios. So first example, here's an instance where I blink up top, check the doorway, get a quick snipe, and when I zoom out, this is what I see. A Titan approaching me pretty aggressively. Now I can either just turn around and run, I could push towards him, or I could do a sort of a combination of the two. I choose to backpedal and drop a grenade defensively where I think he's going to be if he pushes. Now he walks right into it, and it makes killing him pretty easy to do. Here's an instance where I'm going to be sort of scanning for a target with my sniper rifle. I'm going to be sighted in, and what happens is while I'm sighted in, I notice that this hunter engages his golden gun, and you're going to see that right here. So I see that flash, I hear the audio cue. Most times I would turn around and run, but I decide since I already have my sights set at head level, maybe I can pull this shot off. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one shot, and whether I hit or miss, I'm going to sidestep instantly to the pillar. So I'm kind of aware of my surroundings. I want to anticipate missing, so I go ahead and preemptively sidestep. Here's an example of a time where I come around the corner, I find this guy just being revived, which means that there's another enemy nearby, even if I can't see him right now. So I decide I'm not going to walk through the doorway. I'm going to stay back a little ways so that I can sidestep if I need to. I don't get stuck in that bottleneck. I take my first shot and decide go ahead and peek one more time and take the shot. And that's how I managed to get the double kill there. Here's an instance where I could either push or pull away. I'm going against two guys. I want this revive. I know I'm going to get an overshield from it. I decide to stick the engagement out because I've got this bottleneck locked down. So they have to walk through a tight space in order to push me. Now here was a terrible game for my teammate. He goes 0-22. He scored 0 points. We were going against a member of Invigorate Nation, and the guy was pretty good with his last word. So I decided if I was going to have to carry, then I was going to pull out my last word, give this guy a run for his money. Now here I'm almost dead. So this is actually a defensive super. This is me supering to stay alive. I don't actually expect to kill this guy with it. In fact, he blinks up out of it like I anticipate. That gives me some breathing room to run away. And instead of sticking that engagement out, what I do is I create a little bit of distance. I make this guy think that I'm no longer in the engagement, wrap around, and while my teammate has the aggro, I can wrap up the kill and get the guy dead from behind. Here's an instance where I set my sights, and look, the crosshairs are right on the guy's head, but because I'm taking damage, my reticle is low to the right. So I missed the shot. I'm now trapped back here. A well-placed grenade could kill me. So instead of trying to fight, I just decide I'm going to slide under his firing line and get the heck out of there. And so I create some distance and approach from a different vantage point, which lets me actually end up getting a kill. So what was a bad situation turned out to be one that I can turn into an advantage. And there's the quick snipe. Now here's an example of an instance where I really should have run away. I challenged when I shouldn't have. So I get a kill, I push forward, and then at this point I'm looking down and you see that guy's orb is like a whitish red, which means he's about to get up. Now, I kind of, my instinct just takes over here. I push because I see one guy. I didn't stop to think about the fact that his teammate was definitely going to get revived. And I totally just get owned there. It was a really poor decision. Now here's an instance where, okay, one guy in a bottleneck drops a bubble. Now that bubble is not in an advantageous location. I don't need to push that bubble. There's nothing to gain by pushing that bubble. So I just turn around and run away. There's no point in challenging in it. I didn't have any shotgun ammo. So I was just going to come back here to the middle and hold down the B objective. There's no need to push into their spawn. So while I could have gone in there and challenged, I probably would have come out of it at very best going 1-1. And so what I do is I back up, get a few kills, we wrap up the game, and get the win, instead of me feeding them points. So sometimes you just want to weigh, do I even need to push right now? And in that sense, or in that instance, I definitely did not need to push. Now here's an example of a time where I'm up in their business, I'm using all my horizontal cover to my advantage, and then I decided just to, man, I'm pushing real hard, I need to create some space here. So I push this guy, I come back into this little hallway here, draw a couple others in, and get a couple more kills. But at this point, I've got so much aggro back here. Like, they know where I am. They're probably really annoyed at this point. So I just need to run out of there. So sometimes you want to kind of balance it. If you've been pushing really aggressively, you may benefit from turning around and just getting out of that area for a second. And then push again once you sort of gather yourself and get some more ammo. And once they sort of move on and forget about you. Here's an instance of a time where I didn't want them to have heavy ammo, so I'm kind of just pushing it with my super. I wanted to put the bubble right on it, but there was a guy back here. So I put the bubble in this doorway. I grabbed the heavy so that they can't have it. Now my team is we're the only players with heavy ammo. And I get a few more kills here, and I miss my window. Here's my window. Okay, I'm in their spawn. I stick this guy. Now this is my window. When this guy dies, I should go into that doorway, because look at the radar. I have like 3 guys behind me. So the right decision here is once that grenade kills him, I should have run up there to the A location. But instead I decide to play really aggressively to stay in my bubble, and you know, I get another kill, but I'm kind of a sitting duck here because you know, bubbles soak up supers. It was in a bad location. I really just needed to run away, and I didn't do that, so I missed my window. So that was a bad decision. So I hope these have been some helpful tips. Hopefully now you'll start to give a little bit more thought to your engagements, weigh the risk and reward, and decide, you know, when you're doing your threat assessment, is it worth sticking out, or do I need to sort of backpedal and shoot, or do I need to just turn around and run? And these are the things that you need to start thinking about. They're things that will help your overall kill-to-death ratio. They're things that will kind of separate you from most players. And here I'm getting real aggressive, putting my bubble down in their spawn location on the objective, and freeing up my teammates on the other end of the map. Now here's your one sniper tip of the day. This is neither here nor there. But note, I'm waiting for a guy to drop down, but when he drops down, he's going to pull my reticle down too. So I reposition the reticle up a little higher instead of at head level, because when he falls, note how it pulled my sniper reticle downward, and that's the auto aim. So there's your one sniper tip of the day. Set your sights a little higher if you're anticipating someone to drop down. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Hopefully the video was helpful to you, and we'll catch you later.